So to get warmed up, I was thinking we could play like a word game.
A word game?
Yeah, like a word association game.
Okay.
You know, like they do at the therapist's office.
Like
sometimes. At least mine when I was a kid in elementary school, and they thought I was crazy. Well, anyway,
yeah, they think that about me too. It's okay.
So I'm gonna say a word, and then you're gonna say the first word that pops into your head.
Oh no.
And then I guess I will say the first word that pops into my head after hearing your word, and then we'll just go back and forth like that.
Oh yeesh. Okay, I'm down. That's scary. My brain does some weird things.
That's fine. That's fine. It's gonna work. Trust me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start.
All right.
Horse.
Apple.
Bear. Wait, bear? Pear.
Okay, so bear.
No, I said pear.
Oh, pear.
We're already failing at this.
Okay, let's try it again.
Okay. The French.
Booze.
Booze? Hangover.
Fried breakfast.
Tofu scramble.
7 Mile Cafe in Denton.
Oh, hangover.
Scale of the Dragon.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Gandalf.
Marijuana.
Hippies.
Stank.
Rainbow Gathering.
Staph infection.
MRSA.
Mercury.
Retrograde.
Gatorade.
Hydration.
Hydra.
Captain America.
Twink. I don't know. That's the first thing. Keep going.
Okay, lube.
Butthole.
Pubes.
Trim.
Tiny scissors.
Sewing.
Patches.
Punks.
Battle vest.
Sexy.
Strip club. You said first thing.
Strip club?
You said first thing.
Thong.
Thong song.
Cisco.
Night train.
Midnight meat train.
Ooh, Clive Barker.
Freddy Krueger.
Jason Voorhees.
Decapitation.
Norman, Oklahoma.
What?
Yeah, because my cousin Kent found that decapitated head in a dumpster.
Oh, God. Okay, Norman, Oklahoma. Tornadoes.
More Oklahoma.
More tornadoes.
All right, tornadoes. Gary England.
What?
He was a weatherman.
Okay. Who's the guy that played Freddy Krueger? Robert Englund?
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Englund.
Oh, God, Morbius.
Morbius.
I don't know why my brain went to Morbius.
Vampers.
Vampires. Vampire Bill.
The water in Arkansas.
It's very hard.
Cox.
Balls.
Scissors. There was a really terrifying incident in my past. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Scissors. Balls and shaft.
Scissors makes you think of balls and shaft?
It did for just now.
Silk Shaft, your old band.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Eric Wynn.
Raijin Sumo.
Demon Face.
Demon Slayer.
The Ugly Jacket.
Okay, who
keep going.
Okay, Ugly Jacket. The Venture Brothers.
Oh, Klaus Nomi.
Ooh,
Deep
Iggy Pop.
Cut. Iggy Pop. Fucking ugly.
Okay, fucking ugly. All right, I will say Tube Top.
You think tube tops are ugly?
No, it's just what my brain went to. I told you.
Okay, tube top. Boob tube.
YouTube.
Algorithm.
Banhammer.
Oh, Banhammer. Forum.
Sumo Forum.
Problematic. Keep going.
Cultural sensitivity.
Swear words.
Canada.
What?
Canada.
Swear words make you think of Canada?
Yeah, because sometimes like Canadians are so polite they won't actually
French Canadians.
Ice fishing.
Cold.
Yakutsk.
Russia?
Siberia.
Siberia. Ancient cave bears.
Ooh, Clan of the Cave Bear.
Cavemen.
Australopithecus.
Australopithecus. Australia.
Oh, man. Let's see. Aboriginal peoples.
Bush.
Turnpike. I live in North Texas. I'm sorry.
Cat pile.
Ooh, Oklahoma City.
All of your answers are regional. Bombing.
Oh, right-wing terror.
Fascist.
Antifa.
Radical.
Tubular.
Ninja Turtles.
Splinter.
Kung Fu.
The Shredder.
Wait, Kung Fu makes you think of the Shredder?
Yeah.
Cheese grater.
That lemon zester thing.
Lemons?
Decapons.
What the fuck is that?
That's the sumo citrus.
Oh!
It's called a decapon.
Oh, Mandarin.
What's that guy's name? Ben Kingsley.
Who?
Ben Kingsley. He's an actor that played like the fake version of the Mandarin in, what's that called? Shang-Chi. And in Iron Man 2. You don't know Ben Kingsley?
I don't remember what he looks like.
It's okay. He's got a beard.
Well, that really fucking solves it.
Okay.
I think we're done here.
This is fun.
Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx.
Hello, my name is Sabrina, and I'm going to the medieval fair dressed up as a cool-ass wizard with, like, a righteous wizard staff or some shit. What about you?
My name is Matt, and I'm going to go to the medieval fair dressed as a Klingon.
They didn't have Klingons in medieval times.
Hey, we have to show up in period costume, and the future is a period.
I guess if they had a time machine... Okay, whatever. And this is...
Sumo Punx!
Sorry, I was trying to make medieval music sounds.
No, we got... dun, 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 dun,
Or Star
dun,
Trek
dun.
sounds, sure. They should do like a lute cover of the Star Trek theme song.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. So it's like, they could go to the holodeck. They could be having a holodeck adventure with Klingons.
Sure, fine.
You could have like, Excalibur is actually like a batleth.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just excited we finally get to go to this fucking medieval fair because we've been trying for
6 years.
Since I got to Texas.
No, I'm stoked about this, and it's going to be nice to go visit Norman, and I'm going to make all of my buddies back home do sumo with me.
Hell yeah. Speaking of upcoming events, let's talk about the upcoming sumo events happening around the U.S.
All right.
First, we have March 25th, the Kuma Sumo Bash, hosted by Antioch Sumo Bears of Antioch High School in Antioch, Tennessee. So this is going to be an all-youth tournament, ages 13 to 18.
And that's going to be, just this coming weekend.
Yeah, it's coming up real fast, actually.
And I've seen a lot of stuff on social media about this tournament. There's going to be some big names serving as ringside judges and officials. So, of course, Jake from GSB is going to be there.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then Kaylin, a.k.a. Zombie Mommy, is going to be one of the Shimpans.
Nice.
Kyle Ferreter.
Next, on April 28th and 29th...
Yeah.
It's become a 2-day thing.
2-day.
Is going to be the event at Rollertown Beer Works. The 28th is going to be a pre-tournament sumo training session with former Komusubi Gagamaru. That's right. He's finally coming out to the U.S. He finally got his visa issues squared away. And he's going to come here and teach you how to do sumo like the pros. So, Roller Town will also, on the 28th, be releasing their new beer recipe. I hear it's going to be something sumo themed. I'm not exactly sure about that. But there's going to be, lots of booze flowing.
Yeah.
Lots of inebriation happening if you're into that sort of thing. And then the next day, on April 29th, the official Rollertown Showdown Sumo Tournament at Rollertown Beer Works in Salina, Texas.
Or Salina.
So people are going to be coming from all over the country for this. There's going to be a local radio station out there covering the whole thing. It's going to be fucking awesome. And I guarantee the after party that they have planned is going to be equally as awesome.
So you could, show up on the 28th, get some training by Gagamaru, and, and it's a chance to meet a pro. Not everybody has a chance to meet pros all the time. Not all of us live in LA or Florida to meet pros.
Well, retired pro.
Retired pros. But yeah, we got one coming to us here in Texas, and I am super stoked about this. I have all kinds of stuff I want to ask him. He's from Kisei. So I want to ask him about Uda, and I want to ask him about fucking Ken Bozan. And
yeah,
I'm so stoked about this. This is going to be so awesome. And I know there's going to be a bit of a language barrier, but I've heard Gagamaru's a bit of a polyglot, so it might not be so bad.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. I hope he likes the beer.
Oh, yeah.
And as always, you can track upcoming events on sumo411.com. Now, we are here today to talk about the 2023 Haru Basho. The first half of it, anyway.
Yeah, first week.
But we got together with Caleb from Sake Sumo. Caleb is also one of the coaches at Mighty Eagle Sumo Club down in San Antonio, along with the illustrious Tom Zabel.
And Caleb, you better show up to Rollertown because we have to be those colliding celestial bodies ripping the earth apart. So we didn't get a chance to fight at the Met, so we're going to have to fight at Rollertown.
Yeah, foreshadowing for a conversation we had with him while talking about the Basho and stuff.
And a little bit more foreshadowing, Perry Pacina of Mighty Eagle Sumo made the World Championships.
Yes.
He got the gold in the junior heavyweight division at Nationals. Dude is going to Japan, and we'll have more info on that coming up.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Here's Matt, me, and Caleb talking about the Haru Basho. All right. Well, we are here with Caleb Baccus. What?
I said hello.
I thought you said nope. Did I get your name wrong? How long have I known you now? We're here with Caleb Baccus of Mighty Eagle Sumo Club out of San Antonio for a review of the first 7 days of the Haru Basho 2023. And holy shit, we've had some interesting developments lately. But before we get into that, we did want to talk about some recent happenings in U.S. amateur sumo. We just had the Nationals in Florida, Orlando, Florida, right? And one of the new acolytes of Mighty Eagle Sumo Club, Perry, how old is he? He's like 14?
15.
15-year-old Perry is going to be going to Japan soon. Caleb, why don't you tell him why?
Yeah, so he came in and he found us at an Asian festival in San Antonio, and we knew he had talent right away. He seemed to enjoy it, so we asked him to come in and practice, and he became very passionate of it and really quickly. And then I was like, Perry, I think you're good enough to win nationals. So we started raising money for him so him and his mom can go down there. And he did after only 2 months of training, pretty much. He went in and won gold at heavyweight youth division, and now he is qualified for Japan in October.
That is
Wow,
awesome.
after only 2 months of training. Holy crap. So at the Met tournament, which was, oh God, I have no concept of time right now. When was that?
February.
February?
It was in the middle of February.
Right. So the Mighty Eagle Teams tournament in February, Matt actually had a bout with Perry himself.
Yeah.
And from what you had told me before, that kid's strong.
He's way strong. I was surprised when I found out how young he was, just because of the amount of I could tell that he was a little bit new because his balance, footwork, I could tell was like a little, he didn't have that much confidence in it at that time. And so we just kind of danced around. We had like a little
Apparently,
bit of
he got the confidence
Oh,
by the
hell
time
yeah.
he went to nationals.
but we had a bit of a brutal waltz going on there for a second, and it was essentially all about timing. It was timing that allowed me to win, but honestly, he probably could have, if he had just a little bit more oomph at the edge there, he would have beat me. But I'm really excited to try and fight Perry again in the future, because I know he's learning, and since he's so young, he's getting this exponential sumo XP that he's getting,
Yeah,
so
he's got that young, malleable brain that could just soak up all the sumo knowledge.
yeah. He's gonna. I could tell he's gonna kick my ass one of these days. And honestly, I know this sounds kind of weird, but I'm here for it. I want Perry to get good enough to kick my ass.
I'm here for it too. I can't wait. Right now, I kind of destroy him in practice, but
Yeah. Well, we
I
know
want
you
to
want.
get to the point where I'm not like we're having matches, and then I want to get to the point where he's destroying me because I think it's possible.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So he's going to need funding to go out to Japan,
Yeah.
and he
It's
does
not
have a
gonna be-
GoFundMe currently,
It's not
right?
gonna, I want to say real quick, it's not going to be just him. We have to get him and at least one of his parents to go with him.
That's right. That's right.
Really-
Probably shouldn't put a 15-year-old on a plane all the way to Japan by himself. So we're going to put the link to his GoFundMe in the description of this episode. But do you know what they're up to right now, and what's the goal for that?
I think, it just started, so they're on probably only a few hundred up, but I think we put the target at 3,000, which would cover plane tickets at least
Mm-hmm.
for both of them. We don't know how much we're getting from the USSF for him to go, and I don't know. I don't know how anyone's getting enough because this is the first time the US has had so many youths qualify at the same time. Usually there's 1 to 2. I think we're sending 5 this year, so
Nice.
so us. So I don't know how much everybody's getting, but right now we're trying to raise 3,000, and we'll try to come up with other fundraisers when we think of them. So if you want to follow Mighty Eagle Sumo on any of our things, Facebook, Instagram, we will definitely share stuff about Perry and how you can help him get to Japan to fight the rest of the world for the
Hell
US.
yeah.
And when is he going to be going out there? Like, what's the timeline for this?
I believe the tournaments of the worlds this year is October 8th and 9th. So we got a few months. We're going to spend a lot of that training, and we're going to hit every Texas tournament we can. So Texas Sumo Tori out there, get ready because Perry's coming, and he's gonna fight y'all. So give him everything you got. He needs it. He needs the
hell yeah.
practice.
Hell yeah.
If he ends up coming up to either to Roller Town or to the Cowboy Cup, I'm gonna be hoping I'm gonna just be bothering whoever's running the brackets. Like, let me fight Perry again.
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of
I'm not joking. We're trying to get him to every single one. We are
hell
every
yeah.
single one.
Nice.
Everyone. Nice.
because
All
we
right.
can't afford to go out to Tennessee here in a few weeks for that one, and we can't afford the other ones that we like to go to. So Texas, we're hitting all the Texas ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
Texas Ichiban.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, Perry, we wish you well if you're listening. If you are listening, I apologize in advance for all the F-bombs. Hopefully your parents are cool with that. But let's go ahead and move right along and talk about this wacky-ass Basho we've been watching over the last 7 days. Caleb, do you have any thoughts on the Haru Basho to start us off with?
If anything, I have too many thoughts. But to start us off with, Jurio has been the most interesting thing I've seen
Yeah.
in the show. The new guy, Ochi, I want to say.
OTI, yeah.
OTI.
That's my other adopted son.
He's absolutely incredible. Though I'm afraid after watching today, he might have been injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he was grabbing it didn't look like a broken arm. It looked more like a tendon or a muscle got torn. And if that's true, that's not an easy thing to come back from. But then like Inho looks incredible. Now he's at 225 and people can't just push him around. He looks amazing. And then you got the top guys who are all like, someone mentioned there's something like 3 or 4 guys who won top division U shows who are fighting in Juryo right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know with Ochi, he had 0 losses in Makushita before he got bumped up to Juryo. And of course, he's a protege of Hakuho, the former Yokozuna Hakuho, now Miyagi no Oyakata.
The craziest thing is where he found them. He didn't find him in like high school or college. He was working for a company. He didn't think he was going to make it, so he just went to work for a company. And I found out there's something that I never knew they did in Japan. There's a corporate Yokozuna, and he got that. How awesome is that? I never knew that existed. That's
Yeah, I found out, was it watching Kon Hiyori? Like, Kon Hiyori, she wrestles for her company, and she was saying, yeah, I wrestle, my company has a sumo club. I'm like, really? The company? And I guess there is, just like a corporate circuit of...
That makes sense to me. I just didn't know there was a corporate Yokozuna. Because, like, in America, we have corporate, like, softball leagues and stuff. We have things like that all the time, but I didn't know there was corporate Yokozunas. That is so cool.
Oh,
Also,
I know.
With the business, and now you're kicking butt in sumo.
And it adds like a whole other chance, because I know to get into pro sumo, you have to win one of these like prestigious amateur titles, and to have a whole nother amateur league, on the grown up level, that's pretty awesome, especially if they could use it as like a scouting ground for the pros.
Yeah, I just, oh man, I'm so happy about it. I'm very happy about that guy. I'm very happy about Juryo right now. There's just exciting people going on.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was surprised. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but Asayama lost to Ichinojo. That was a little bit surprising. But Ichinojo looks like he is the best shape physically and mentally that he's been in a while.
Yeah, Ichinojo's been killing it in Juryo for sure.
I've noticed that a lot of these guys, when they get these suspensions or they miss, an entire tournament for whatever reason, that they always get more well rested and they come back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Asanoyama, though, a lot of people really expected him, after he won the Juryo Yusho last tournament, to be bumped back up to Makuuchi. But he's not quite back up to Makuuchi yet, so he's still kind of killing it in Juryo.
He's Juryo 1. All he needs is a winning record. And I didn't expect him to get bumped up. I know a lot of people did, but I knew they weren't going to bump him up because he was too far at the bottom.
Yeah.
All the way to the top would have felt more like
nepotism or...
and there's a little, especially because there's all those good guys, especially those 2 new guys in top division, Hokuseiho and
Kinbozan.
Kinbozan, thank you. Yes, they are freaking awesome.
Oh,
and
hell
they deserve to be up there. And you would have had to kick one of them out probably to put Asayama up there. So I'm kind of glad that they put him at 1.
Yeah, that makes more sense looking at it that way, just to make sure that there's more room in Makuuchi for the 2 young guys that, absolutely deserve to be in the upper division. Where, with the Sanayama, it was like, what was he at, Juryo 12? So a jump.
Yeah, he was
Juryo
pretty
12
far down there. He was near the bottom, like almost near the very bottom.
And we actually had 3 guys coming up from Juryo to Makuuchi. It was Bushozan, Hokuseiho, and Kinbozan.
Yeah, and Daishoho too.
Daishoho too?
But Daishoho's been in Makuuchi before.
Been there before, yeah.
So, of course, Bushozan, I do have a little bit of information about him. Apparently, he is the first wrestler from Fujishima Stable to reach Makuuchi since 2011. Yes.
Didn't know that.
Oh, he's got that fresh, clean, white mawashi for his training.
And then Hokuseiho, as I think we already mentioned, he is another acolyte of Hakuho, Miyagi no Oyakata. He also has fabulous eyebrows. I don't know what he is doing, but it is working for him.
People just got genetics. That's just life.
Yeah, I kind of think like Hakuho's wife is there just like holding him down with tweezers. She's like, let me sculpt those eyebrows.
And then, of course, Ken Bozon, the Kazakh from Kisei, who was actually a judo star before being recruited by Asashoryu.
You know, you got to have like a bit of, some talent to catch the eye of Asashoryu.
Right? Exactly. Especially looking at how critical he is of his own nephew.
I know.
I think he's one of those people just critical of everybody, and probably more of himself than anyone else. That's what I think he is. He's just critical of everybody and everything.
I could see that. You could see that in his sumo too.
Yeah, and that just sometimes that leads you to greatness. I know it can be mentally tough on the people around those kind of people, but it leads you to greatness sometimes, and let him be. So
yeah, also Shoryu, like his style had so many like weird throws. Like I'd never seen somebody throw someone with their back.
Yeah.
But he managed to do it. But for as throw happy, as Asa Shoryu, and as just beastly strong, as he is. It's wild to me that he saw somebody like, this judo guy, Ken Bozon, and just to as throw happy as he is, for someone to catch his eyes with a throwing sport, it's just like, ooh, to me, it's just like that guy does have something special. I really want to see what Ken Bozon could bring to Makuuchi, because there's like especially up in the constipated Sanyaku, area, there's so much talent congested up there, and I just really want to see someone like Ken Bozon or Hokuseiho just break that shit up,
Yeah, I don't know. The Sanyaku ranks don't actually look like they're doing as good as they were before.
Maybe not this Basho.
But we're just halfway through the Basho, so, we still have time to see what happens. There have been some other interesting developments up in Makuuchi. One of the things that you had mentioned to me yesterday is how you feel like Nishiki Fuji has been getting like real mean lately. He was actually one of the front runners up until day 6 when he was finally beaten by Funbags. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, Aoyama.
That's Big Dan.
And then Shodai has been getting really aggressive this tournament as well. He, I think it was on day 2, the way that he really manhandled Kiribayama.
Yeah, Justin Kizzert.
Shodai looks like the pressure is off him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's good with pressure, which is part of being a top dog. So if he can't handle it, he may not shouldn't be Ozeki, but not everybody can handle the mental pressure of something like that. It's really hardcore. I mean, you have to win. At the top 2 guys, you have to win. They don't want you if you're not winning. And that can be too much to some people.
I think, too, like, he had that big toe injury, and you could really tell his Tachiai has just been off for, like, the last 3 tournaments, it seems like.
And it used to be that even Hakuho was afraid of Shodai's Tachiai. You remember on Hakuho's last tournament as Yokozuna, do you remember when he went up against Shodai and he went all the way...
Like way back from the Shikiri-sen.
Yeah, way back from the center line when he was having his bout with Shodai. And a lot of people were like, what the fuck is up with that? But no, he knew. Shodai's Tachiai at that time was something to be afraid of,
And Hakuho was injured anyway. Like he was getting those knee injections. And not just injections, he was getting fluid drained out of his knees too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was in pretty bad shape, so he was just, like, calculating. It's like, well, probably can't take this Tachiai head on, so...
Yeah, but then, like, Shodai's Tachiai has been getting progressively worse since then, and from what we hear, it is because of a pretty bad toe injury. Although I did hear that he was going to be taking hella painkillers this Basho, so maybe that also is helping him out.
Yeah, he's turned into Perk Angle.
So Tachiai, though, was always inconsistent. He could hit really hard, but most of the time, not most of the time, half the time he didn't come off and hit anybody. I think it's because he relies so much on that clown at the Tawara last second win things. His Okata would say like it's because he wasn't mentally strong, but I think it's just when you get used to winning that way and you can win that way, why change until you start losing?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Like, oh hell, I'm freaking losing. And that happens too. Anyone who knows me and seen Sake and Sumo, I've had this problem with Abi for forever.
I was just going to mention Abi too. Yeah.
And then when he got suspended, he came back up fast, but I still was like, guys, he still looks terrible. His technique is awful. He's just so athletically talented. He's winning anyway. and they got up into Sanyaku and then lost and dropped right back out. And I was like, see, that's what I expected. I think he came back 3 tournaments ago, or was it 4 tournaments ago? When did he win that you show? It was 3 ago, I believe.
It
I think it was 3.
okay.
He just his feet were flat. He wasn't too far forward. Everything looked great, and I think it's because he was losing, and he was like, oh, I guess I should do it right now.
See, and that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, exactly. Abi realized that the tricks he was relying on weren't working for him anymore, and he started to adjust, and it showed, especially when he did win that tournament.
Yeah, his technique is looking better, and that happens with athletes all over sports. When they're so athletically talented that they don't need good technique to win, a lot of times they don't have good technique. Not until they start losing and going, oh no, I need to change this up. This isn't working. It's rare that you have someone that's unbelievably athletic and unbelievably technically sound.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Hagaho don't come around very often.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, some other interesting things that have been happening so far. Date 5 was a pretty interesting one. We had Wakataka Kage versus Mitakeumi, where apparently Wakataka Kage's knee touched the ground, but he just either didn't notice or didn't care and just kept going. And so the Goji actually gave it to Mitakeumi. Or they gave it to Wakataka Kage, but then through a Mono-e, they decided to reverse it and give it to Mitakeumi. Because you could see on the replay, like, he clearly, like, kneeled right there in front of Mitakeumi, and it just kept going. Just kept, like, pushing him out.
I think he just, like, does some very deep lunges when he exercises and just kind of just got used to that deep. You're just like, oh, screw it. I'm just going to keep going.
Well, hell, I didn't notice. Goji didn't notice. Goji doesn't say anything. You're gonna keep fighting. That's just a fact too. I've seen that. Though I have seen that at the first Conference Cup, the very first one. Tom didn't notice somebody's hand touching, and the two wrestlers stop and just look at each other for a second, and then they realized that the Goji hadn't said anything, and so they started. And it was great. It was great. They just stood up and looked at each other and went, "Oh!" And they kept
It's like, all right then.
Conference Cup, the very first one. It's fantastic. I believe it was lightweight that happened, and it was great.
Yeah, that's why you gotta have those side judges to have an extra set of eyes.
They had 4 of them. Nobody saw it.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say, is even then, sometimes, you know, it can be kind of hard to see what kind of action is going on up there on the dojo.
Things are going fast. Yeah, it's easy to miss things.
I remember I can't remember who Wakataka Kage was fighting, but it was either last year or the year before. But he was flailing his arms about, and he totally scraped the floor of the dojo, like, because there's all that little dust and sand down there. You could see the dust pop up from whenever his hand scraped the dojo.
I think that was sometime last year.
Yeah, nobody called that. No Shimpan. Nobody called that. And so it's interesting to me because it was Isegahama that was in charge of like the Banzuke and the judges, right? Like back before this whole scandal. And
yeah, until that happened, yeah.
So now it's is it Sarogatake? That's what's his name? Kotono Waka's dad is.
Yeah, I actually don't know who's running now, but I'm just gonna assume you're right. Yes.
So it's Kotono Waka the elder, but I guess he's Sarogatake. So I'm wondering if this is like a different Ichiman, like a different faction. So since there's a different faction in charge of the ranking and the judges, is that are they going to be doing things a little bit differently? Are they going to kind of
like, was there some favoritism towards certain people before and now there's not? Although Wakataka Kage hasn't actually been doing that well this tournament.
Yeah,
especially for being one of those Sanyaku wrestlers.
He's one of the pretty boys.
He had a Daigeko with some guys. I can't remember who he was wrestling, but he had Daigeko and he got hurt. I think Asayama was there with him, and he got hurt here. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm fine." But watching him wrestling, I don't think he's fine. That does not look like Wakataka Kage. He doesn't get pushed out by people very often. He's just not. It's usually a fantastic fight with him, and that's not what I've been seeing. So I don't think he's good. I think he's still messed up and just doesn't want to admit it.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I had heard about that, actually, that he had got injured during training. So another interesting thing that happened on day 5, we got to see Kiribayama's breakdancing skills when he went up against Onosho. So apparently he was desperately trying to save himself from falling in like kind of a split position. I don't know if he just didn't want like his nuts bouncing off the fucking doyo or whatever, but he ended up flinging around his whole body to try to like get himself back up, but it just didn't work. The momentum was already going down, and that's how he ended up losing that match, but it was pretty cool to watch either way.
You know, I know a lot of those Mongolian guys, you know, they're really into
into breakdancing?
No, they're really into hip hop.
Oh, well, maybe they are really into breakdancing then.
Hip hop and basketball for some reason. I don't know why.
They really are. So I'm wondering, does Kiribayama just kind of like, you know, break out the cardboard box in the alley of the Baya and just start breakdancing, you know?
I mean, breakdancing happens on the ground for the most part, right? So, like, breakdancing plus sumo doesn't seem like a good combination.
I don't know. Sometimes it seems like Ura, that's what he's doing all the time. It's just breakdancing, just happens to not hit the floor while he's doing it.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like a lot of times. It's like, oh my God.
He really is kind of like a wacky, wavy arm inflatable tube man. His body just undulates and bends and his arms flail. And then he bounces around like Winnie the Pooh. And then he just pops up and he's just smiling, just like, yeah, I did that. I don't know. I love that guy.
Representative Basho, during that match you were just talking about, I believe Justin said the only person that could have pulled that off and won would have been Ura. No one else was able to do that.
I remember whenever Ura was fighting, oh gosh, what was it? Damn it, why am I forgetting Terunofuji's name? But we was fighting Terunofuji and then like did that Matrix shit, you know, where he was like bent backwards, still holding onto the belt.
Oh yeah.
And Terunofuji's like, get off there.
That was fantastic.
Well, there was some more interesting stuff that happened later on with Kiribayama as well. The next day, day 6, he actually had a bit more of a rough time of it, even though he did pick up his 4th win on that day. He started off getting to hear his name yelled out by almost every female in the crowd. And like a bunch of little kids too. Like you can hear them. They're like, Kiribayama! You know, just like cheering him on before the bout starts. However, he was going up against Nishikigi, and Nishikigi was able to lock up Kiribayama's left arm, and as Kiribayama delivered his Sotogake to his opponent, I think he landed weird on that arm or something happened because he was clearly in a lot of pain trying to get up off the ground.
Yeah.
It really was reminiscent of that last bout of whatever Basho it was between Abi and Takayasu, because he was on his hands and knees. He was kind of looking like he was dazed or like in pain somehow, you know, and I was like, oh God, oh fuck, did he pull a Takayasu? What's going on here? But no, I think it really was just his arm. And of course, when you're in that amount of pain, if it was a bad injury, you're still going to feel like your bell got rung, you know? It's going to make you dizzy. It's going to make you nauseous. It can do all kinds of stuff to you.
Yeah, and to go back to the beginning of that, I am unbelievably happy to hear people scream and yell again.
Oh,
yes.
That just makes me all sorts of happy. In fact, I didn't realize how popular Endo still is.
I know.
Yeah.
He's still well loved among. I mean, he always was since college days. That's why he goes by Endo and didn't get a proper nickname and stuff. It was just always Endo because everybody just loves him.
You know, when I was in college, I was also a huge fan of Endo. Oh, wait, we're talking about a different Endo. Okay, never mind. All right. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I love that. I love listening to people scream for Inho still in Jirio. I love people just losing their minds. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to hear that again.
Yeah, but you could tell like there are some ladies in Osaka that definitely have their Endo butt pillows.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're still clinging to those butt pillows. Also huge fans of Ura.
Oh, that's where he's from though.
I was going to say that makes sense because he's from Osaka. Some of the things that Osaka doesn't seem to like though, they really don't like the Hinka.
They hate it more than normal people, it seems like. Shoot.
Yeah, definitely. We did see a few Hinkas this Basho so far, and each time it was just like the crowd was like
just silent,
very grumpy about it. They weren't really silent, but they were like
like murmurs.
Yeah.
Rumble.
And then And then I don't know if you guys had seen Tochinoshin versus Enho today. Whenever Tochinoshin did that freaking Hakuho style forearm blast to Enho,
yeah.
and Enho just kind of like popped back. He just flew backwards, but nobody cheered. Everybody was just kind of like.
It's always weird. You never know. You never know what you're gonna get. I mean, I'm with you, Sabrina. I think the Hinka is beautiful. It is a fantastic move that makes it fair for everybody. It'd be a lot easier for someone like me to win matches if I know you're coming straight at me every time. But because I know people can sidestep, I have to be careful. And it's just a fact of life. And that's, I don't know, it makes it so much more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they haven't made it illegal yet.
It's just it makes it better. Yeah, so I don't know why people get so angry. I mean, I do. If it's a big match and you're all excited and then that happens, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, dude, just enjoy sumo. There's another match coming.
Yeah, that's what Sabrina always says. She goes, "Oh, you don't like the Hinka? Then just get better at sumo."
Exactly. Okay, now I think we have to talk about Midori Fuji because he has been fucking killing it this Basho. It's another one of those instances where one of the lower level guys, it just comes out of nowhere and starts just beating ass left and right, you know? So he ended up becoming the front runner on day 7 after his bout with Takayasu. Which Takayasu had also been one of the front runners until recently. So, Caleb, did you have any particular thoughts on that?
No.
No?
Until you just mentioned it, my brain was like, oh, that's true. It was something that I hadn't actually thought about, and I'm just being honest right now.
Because I know when we were talking earlier, you were like, oh, poor Takayasu.
Yeah. I really was, like a lot of people, I really feel like it's not that he deserves one, but that's what it feels like. It feels like he deserves one at this point in time.
Because I know I don't want to say give that man a Yusho, but give that man a Yusho.
It feels like for football fans, it feels like the Buffalo Bills back in the 90s when they went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Something that no one's ever done. You made the 4 straight Super Bowls and you didn't win one. That hurts. That hurts me in the heart. And there's people like that. There's athletes like that. There's teams like that. They're just those lovable losers. And I mean, saying loser to Takayasu is weird because he wins so much, but it feels like it sometimes. Just like you just want to get one. You want to just get one freaking Yusho, and then you're like, thank God. I mean, he's 36 at this point. For crying out loud!
I know he's running out of time, but his sumo had been looking really good for like the past year, and after he toppled down from Ozeki, it just seems like there was a couple of years there where he was just kind of just trudging along, just trying to hold it together, just trying to stay in the upper division, and then about a year ago, it seems like he had started building back up and getting better, had those Jun-Yu shows. I remember the historical bout against Wakataka Kage. I really wish he would have got that one. And a part of me, I mean, because I'm a huge Abi fan, but part of me still kind of wished, he would have got Abi.
Yeah.
But that whole thing, I felt so bad. I just wanted to give him a big hug. Yeah. And then his mom is on social media too. And just his mom was like, it's okay, baby. And I was just like, oh.
Yeah, I really want to see him have his one last hurrah before he retires, because he is getting up to retirement age for sumo wrestlers anyway. He's getting close to that.
Yeah.
But
and his body has just been through so much.
Yeah.
He's got all of that history, that sumo history just etched into his bone and sinew. Yeah, I can't.
By the way, he always does better after he misses a tournament. If he missed a tournament through injury or COVID or something, he comes back, and those are usually his best tournaments.
Oh, hell yeah.
Obviously, as you said, sumo is just etched into his body, and he's wearing it at this point.
So this is still, we're not even quite over the hump, the halfway point of the tournament just as of yet. So, time will tell. He's only got, one loss so far. I'm knocking on wood for him. He could turn it around. Shit could change. Midori Fuji could pull out for whatever reason, and then it would be Takayasu as the front runner. So, I mean, there's things that could be happening. There's things brewing. It's still anybody's tournament at this point. And since there's no Ozeki, there's no Yokozuna.
Oh, that's another another thing. Right, I was just about to get to that too. Taka Keisho, day 7, pulls out, and I don't know if he's going to be back on like a later day, but apparently he got injured on day 3 when he went up against Shodai. So he tried to, keep going after that, but it just wasn't working out. He was doing much more poorly than you would hope for someone who's trying to make a Yokozuna run. So yeah, now we have no Ozekis, no Yokozuna. It's really anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, there's no one there to keep the rank and filers in line. And then the Sanyaku boys are just kind of like, so,
Yeah.
I mean, the Sanyaku boys are like, usually you would see like picture perfect sumo from like Hoshoryu and from definitely Kiribayama and Wakataka Kage, but poor Wakataka Kage, man.
Yeah.
And then isn't Daisho a Komusubi again now, or did he topple? I can't remember.
Man, there's like 4 fucking Komusubi. I can't remember all of them. What is it, like 4 Komusubi, 3 Sekiwake?
Yeah. Oh crap! That's all I can think of. Toby's one. That's the only one I can think of right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tobizaru actually had been like, there's people that I expected him to lose to that he actually won against. I'm like, Tobizaru? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when his sumo's on, it's on. It's a beautiful thing when it's on. It's not always on though. Some days he gets too jittery and he gets too patience. And when he has patience, it's fantastic sumo. It's fun to watch. Straight up, Takesho, yeah, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say other than the fact that people online should shut the hell up sometimes.
Oh God, I know.
Like I know every single one of them who talk smack, I know have never actually stepped foot into a sumo ring.
I know.
They would know that he's not a one-trick pony because pushing and thrusting are 2 tricks, guys. There's and then there's pulling and slapping, which he does also.
Right.
For some reason, they don't count that. And secondly, the fact that you know what he's going to do. He's going to come off top GI and hit you. And if you get to the belt, he'll probably lose. But how often is anyone able to stop him when he does that? How often has anyone even got to his belt in the last few years, even with his losses? Can you remember the last time someone actually got to his belt? Like to his belt? Can you picture in your head?
I can't.
Wait a minute. Didn't
Takaho and Asayama, the last 2 people I can remember who got to his belt. That's it. That's it. And they haven't been around for a while. I don't know. He is fantastic. His body might be able to handle the durability to get the Yokozuna, but he's still one of the best sumo wrestlers I have ever seen.
Easily.
I was really, really hoping that he would do well and, he would fucking knock it out of the park at this Basho, and then maybe by May we would see another Yokozuna, and that would be Taka Keisho. But I kind of also in the back of my mind had this feeling like, it's probably not going to happen, at least not in March. Maybe later on in 2023, but definitely not now that he's pulled out. Now that did he only have 2 wins by the time he pulled out? 3 maybe? 3, yeah.
3 and 3.
Yeah, so
yeah.
It is kind of disappointing, but at the same time, for me anyway, it was a little bit expected.
I did not expect it at all.
Really?
Good, because his last rope run, he got injured too. And it's always been his issue. He has a few months of awesomeness, and then he gets hurt, and then he has to build back up again. But
right, exactly.
I don't know. For some reason, I thought he would get through and not get injured. And then I was lying to myself after Shodai when I saw him get down to Sakyo, and he was having the hardest time just getting down to the Sakyo.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's probably fine. He's gonna. Yeah, see, he's back. He's day 4. He's back. He won. See, he's fine. He obviously wasn't fine. He just wasn't fine.
Yeah.
It was nice to watch him blow Shodai out of the water, though. That was fun.
Yeah.
He was probably like, oh, Shodai, man, I hurt myself fighting you. Give me some of your painkillers. I just don't know. I get really mad at people online. I do too.
They stuff that just drive me nuts when it comes to Takesho. And I try not to get mad about it. I don't mind people not liking him. It's just that when they say stuff, they don't sound like they know what the hell they're talking
Oh,
about.
that annoys the crap out of me. And I always say that too. It's like, man, I got a podcast. I'm going to talk shit about these people that are talking shit about my guys. And I always thought it's like, I'm going to name names too. But no, I mean, but there was somebody on there that was, because I know not everyone's a Shodai fan, especially like Kizzert, like I mean, like, but I just like the guy because I just kind of something about his personality, or like what little personality the JSA lets him express.
Yeah.
He just seems like my kind of guy, and he's, he had the little goth haircut, whatever.
Yes.
So I just like that about him.
And the cantaloupes. Also the cantaloupes.
He comes from a cantaloupe family.
Yeah.
But no, so someone was saying shit like, it's like, oh, I don't know what that guy's even doing in sumo to begin with. He just doesn't have this, doesn't have that. And it's just like, dude, you obviously have never done sumo yourself. What the fuck do you know? And it's, you can say whatever you want about Shodai if I know that you're familiar with the sport, that you've at least tried sumo, or if you've practiced sumo, if you have like that perspective, the inside perspective about it. And it's just like, okay, valid criticism, I can accept that. But whenever it comes to some fucking armchair oyakata and fucking like bumfuck goddamn France or whatever, saying like, there's this guy, I can't remember it's like Richard something. I think he's got like a Polish last name. His whole deal on social media is just to talk shit about Shodai. And he's been doing it for years. And so it's just that guy in particular. I'm like, well, jump in the fucking dojo. Let's see how much you could do with Tachi.
He still made it to Ozeki. He still lasted longer than Mitake Yumi. And you know what? He may not have always gotten double-digit wins, but he did better than Tochinoshin did when he was Ozeki, and everybody fucking loves Tochinoshin. But when it comes to somebody like Takakeisho, I think he really does have a lot of fans out there. He's the combat wombat.
Oh, Japan,
he's
huge. In Japan, he's been voted top wrestler like 2 or 3 times in his career. They love him. It's the English-speaking world that have issues because the English-speaking world doesn't understand how hard pushing and thrusting is in sumo, and how often amateurs just go to the belt.
Yeah,
and that's what amateurs do. Like guys who can push and thrust, you are incredible. So yeah,
Matt, you're incredible.
And I was about to say, I agree with Caleb. That's my first instinct, especially when I very first started sumo, was to go for the belt. And sometimes if I'm fighting someone that's around my size, sometimes my instinct is to grapple, but whenever I'm fighting guys that are slightly, like if I was to fight like a light heavyweight, then I would use my pushing thrusting. Even if I fight guys like the Garza brothers, like I do pushing and thrusting, but
you wouldn't use that against Caleb.
You can't move Caleb. He's a goddamn boulder. So I can't move Caleb like that.
You're a boulder, but you're a mountain. I have to like work myself.
But no, when Caleb and I clash, it is like freaking like celestial bodies and
planets smashing into each other.
Yeah, so we have to behave like celestial bodies in the dojo.
Yeah.
But like, look at guys like Eric Wynn though. Eric Wynn is like, his pushing and thrusting is on point. That's usually how he wins. If he has to grapple, you got to just be that good to withstand it.
We need to go out to North Carolina and train with those guys.
They're having that thing at the end of July.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah, we did hear a rumor they're having a sumo boot camp sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I really want to go.
Yeah.
But it's so close to the Scottish Sumo Open, so
yeah, we really need to get on getting those passports put together. But anyway, we're getting kind of off track here.
Yes, we're talking about normal stuff. Sumo!
Yes. So
what do you guys hope to see for the rest of this Basho? What do you hope happens for the last week of the tournament?
For me, I want to see what I had nicknamed the Futures Part 1 and 2, Wakata Kage and Hoshoryu, like get their groove back. Yeah. Get back into their game. Even they only get 8 or 9 wins, just get back to like their style of sumo, and like that sumo that makes all of us for the last 2 years go, my God, look at these little guys. I mean, for 2 years, even when they were losing, even if they had like 7 or 6 wins, we were like, man, they look really good. Yeah. And this is the first time I've ever been like, what is going on with these two? I don't know. I would love to see that back. I still believe in them. I think they're the future of the sport,
Oh
and I
hell
want
yeah.
to see it.
I agree. I want to see the pretty boys back in action. And so for me,
Kiribayama too.
yeah. So for me, the pretty boys are Haas, Wakataka Kage, Kiribayama. Like those are like the guys that I'm like, okay, pretty boys, let's get the performance ramped up. Wakamoto Haru is doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
You got to
It is
hand it.
I love him because his sumo is so boring. It's like it's the most like basic
Textbook.
Oshidashi, Yorikiri, like the stuff you all train with, and just like basic as shit, and he wins all the time with it. Love it. Keep it up, Waka. Yes.
Yeah, no. I always call him Dimples, but no, man. Dimples' style is very textbook, but he knows how to work it. It's like, have you ever played Street Fighter 2 with somebody that's like, and I'm not talking about any of like Super Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter Alpha or whatever,
Like the
original ass Street Fighter 2, not even Turbo Edition, but the old school one. And then you just play with like an old head that just knows all of the basic shit before they started getting wonky with it, and he could just kick your ass with any character, any move, anything. He just knows what he's doing, with Street Fighter 2. And that's kind of like Wakamoto Haru is. He's just got these sumo basics down to a fucking polished art.
Yeah.
And I'm here for that. And then there's Midori Fuji.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yes.
Honestly, I gotta say, Midori Fuji is one of my favorite wrestlers right now. I hope he gets it. I hope he gets the Yusho. I hope he wins this whole ass tournament. I think that would. I think he would be rather chuffed about that. I love watching these little guys like Midori Fuji just like beat these huge dudes' asses. I'm sure a lot of people do. It's a common trope in sumo, like the little guy like rising up and like beating the mountainous men that are their
the
opponents.
giant slaying.
Yeah, the giant slaying. Thank you. But even outside of that, I don't know. I just like Midori Fuji. I think he's cute.
He's got spunk. He's like a little
Yes.
pit bull.
That's what it is. He has spunk.
Yes, he reminds me of Brandon McLeod, who you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he totally does.
Yeah, the way he comes in and hits and stays his feet. That's what he reminds me of. And yeah, I would like to see him win. If someone's got to win, and it might as well be Short King because that'd be awesome. It's like what we said about Inho about 1,000 times. If Inho would gain weight, he'd kill it. Well, this guy did. He got up to, I don't know what he's now, 260 or something.
Yeah.
5'7", so that's pretty impressive as hell. And look what he's doing with it. Just you don't have to be really heavy, just heavy enough so people can't push you around, but light enough that you can still move like that. And he would be awesome to see win. It would be great. I would love it.
See, and that's kind of how I feel about the pretty boys. Like they all have that perfect balance of enough weight to not just get hurled off the dohyo, but like enough maneuverability. Especially guys like Kiribayama and Hoshoryu who have a lot more of that bulk kind of Mongolian wrestling background. Mm-hmm. And that does require a whole lot more like body undulation and movement to get those really wacky throws to work,
Right. A lot more agility, I guess.
Yeah. And Midori Fuji, he just attacks, he latches on, and he just doesn't quit. But his style is more of like I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, it's definitely got a lot of pushing and thrusting in it, but he's proactive, I guess. He just doesn't let up. He's not. You see, some of these wrestlers are more reactive.
Tenacious.
Yeah, he's proactive. He's not a reactive wrestler. He's just very like, I'm gonna get you, sucker. And I love that about him.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I would also love to see Takayasu take it too. If Midori Fuji can get bumped down, and then. Oh God, it's gonna be Midori Fuji versus Takayasu on the last day. They're gonna be
yeah. If there's a playoff, that could happen.
Yeah, they're gonna be battling it out for the Haru Yusho. But I do hope to see that eventually. I'm not sure if it's gonna be this Basho, but yeah, everybody loves Takayasu too and wants to see him do well.
I kind of want to see Ochiai take the Yusho for Juryo.
Ooh, yeah?
But if his arm isn't too messed up from, earlier.
I kind of have a feeling it's going to be Ichinojo, honestly.
It's probably going to be Ichinojo. If not, Asayama will come back and win it. It would be awesome. I would love to see that too. But I'd also like to see Inho win it.
Yeah.
But Ochiai, he's gonna come back and he's gonna kill it regardless. As long as that injury's not too terrible. he will win it probably before he gets up to the top level. He is just too good. He's like someone drew a sumo wrestler, like an anime guy drew a sumo wrestler.
He really is. I love
Speaking of, for later conversation, I would like to bitch and complain about Ragnarok. If you haven't seen part 2 of Ragnarok.
About right. No, we were going to make a whole episode about that.
I was thinking about doing it too because it made me angry, and I would love to talk about that later. That's something I'd like to talk to you guys later about.
Yeah. No, we should definitely do that because we absolutely loved the story, but even though it was a major distraction from the historical figure of Raiden.
Yeah.
And
I could have been good with all of it if the drawing hadn't been so bad. Like, why'd you make him look like that?
I know.
I gave him like an 80 pack. I'm like, what are you talking? What are you doing?
Yeah, not only does he not look like a normal sumo wrestler, but like his mawashi is just so little. Like it's just like a tedious. It's just like he's wearing like a thong, you know.
Oh.
But it's just like
they would cut the other sumo wrestlers, and they look like sumo wrestlers. And I was like, why didn't you just make?
I know.
Yeah. Why don't you make this guy look like those guys?
You drew him like Ochi looks. He should look like that guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then there's that other show that's coming out on Netflix too.
Oh, did you hear about that show? Oh, you.
Yeah, I've been sharing about. Yeah, Sanctuary. Yeah,
Sanctuary. Yeah. Do we know when that's going to be coming out?
May the 4th. You know, Star Wars Day.
That's right.
May the 4th
yeah,
be with you.
You mentioned that to me. So it's going to be a show entirely about sumo wrestling in Japan, Japanese actors. We are definitely going to be watching that and hopefully doing an episode on that sometime in the future. But I think we're getting to the end of this episode now. So anybody got any last words?
Yes, because I definitely want to make sure that both of my sons do well. Because, okay, Ochi is one of my adopted sons now.
He's the new one.
As is Atami Fuji.
Yes.
And the Atami Fuji's at 4 and 3. So I'm very excited for him. I think that Silver Mawashi's working some wonders for him.
Yeah.
And then Ochi, I hope his frickin' arm isn't, going to take him out of commission. I hope he, just manhandles Asanoyama and Ichinojo. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited about this tournament because it's frickin' chaos.
It is chaos. It's insane. I want to call out all the amateur sumo wrestlers, especially the ones in Texas. I'm coming up to Roller Town to win. I am really pissy at this point. I have not medaled since the very first Houston Open. So it's been over a year. And so I'm going to come, and I'm coming hard. And I've been working out nonstop.
Hell yeah.
I'm angry after not placing at the Met. So let's go. Oh, also, I want to take on big boy Matt here again because we tied for 5th at the Met. And we can't believe they're tied.
I know. And we didn't even get to fight at the Met.
Yeah, it's the thing with double elimination. The first 4 are like, you know who they are. And after that, it's like tied for 5th, tied for 7th, tied for 9th. That's the way it is. But yeah, you and me.
We're going to do it. We're going to clash. It's going to be those celestial bodies clashing. We're going to disrupt the tides. We're going to knock the moon out of orbit. We're going to disrupt the landscape of North Texas.
Oh yeah. It's going to be like Pecos Bill stories. It's going to be just me and Matt.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, Caleb, you have a podcast of your own. Where can people find that? Also, where can they find more information about your sumo club?
Okay, so Sake and Sumo. We put our stuff on Lone Star Sumo, which you can find a lot of different sumo stuff on there. I have things on the women of sumo. I need to post more about that. And I do stuff like I have all the tournaments on there at some point or another, either the ones that I have on my channel or the ones other people put on their channel. I put in a list. And then we do Sake and Sumo, which is the most popular thing. Oh, and if you like watching sumo with other people and you feel like you don't, every morning Justin does breakfast in the Basho during the Bashos. You can watch him watch it and the people talking there. And if you can't get there at like 8 or 9 when he starts it, then you could just watch it later. It's just fun just to listen to all these people talk about sumo. It's fun. It feels like you're a part of something.
Yeah.
Do that too. You can find My Eagle Sumo, Facebook, Instagram, or online at myeaglesumo.com. We're the San Antonio Club, and we have been around for a long ass time, and we plan on being around longer. And help Perry out.
Help out Perry.
Yes.
Imperative to help Perry.
Yes.
We want more American sumo tori in Japan to show them what we're made of, damn it.
Hell yeah. Well, Caleb, thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you at Roller Town. That's going to be badass. And keep on kicking ass, dude.
I'll keep it on.
All right, well, that's our show. Caleb, let us know where to find him online. Where can we find us online?
We are all over the social medias, on the Instagram, on the Twitter, on the MySpace. No,
Do we
Facebook.
have a MySpace?
We don't have a MySpace.
I can make a MySpace. Is MySpace still a thing?
They have that Space Hay MySpace clone. It's called Space Hay. Yeah. Anyway, so you can find us at Sumo Punx, spelt with an X, on all sorts of social media.
Except for Twitter, because it's Punk Sumo, because I fucked up the Twitter.
And you can find us talking all sorts of mad shit. You can also find our Redbubble shop, where we have some pretty badass designs and a new one forthcoming.
I am putting out a new design this weekend. It is happening, and holy shit, this is the best one ever. Also, if you like the show, go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. It really helps other people find the show as well. People who might want to know more about sumo, people who already know about sumo and might want to hear us talk shit about it. Who knows? You can help them find us.
And if you're on YouTube, just subscribe to us and like our stuff. The reason being is if we could get over 1,000 subscribers, we could do a whole lot more with our channel.
That's true.
And
yes.
we really would like to. So even if you're just log in on your family's profiles on YouTube and just subscribe to us.
Just make multiple fake accounts and start subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, just help us get over 1,000 until they start getting those videos in their subscription feed.
Okay, here's what you do. You create 1,000 bots. Okay.
Bot farm.
No, not really. All right. I think that's the end of it. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see y'all later.
Bye. Bye.